What's going on, everybody? Marvel the Cross 316 back on another comic book flashback, and today, folks, we are looking at Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 71. Today's title is Strange Part 2. Today we're seeing the conclusion of this story with Doctor Strange, and he's going to be helping to save Peter Parker as Peter Parker is trapped in this nightmare realm. And man, I mean, this is pretty scary stuff for anybody to go through. And so we're going to be looking at this story today. So previously in Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter Parker and his girlfriend Mary Jane Watson are at a good point in their relationship and have decided to spend their combined allowance on dinner at an exclusive Manhattan restaurant located in Central Park. While on an assignment to interview supposed mystics Dr. Stephen Strange with Daily Bugle reporter Ben Urich, young Peter Parker suddenly finds himself living a nightmare. And so we pick up the issue today. We have Doctor Strange Jr., the son of Doctor Strange. He's also become a Sorcerer Supreme. He's going to wake up as raindrops are pattering against his face. And he's like, Wong, why is it raining inside the house? Well, it's because we see that last issue, Spider-Man swung through that window to try to save Doctor Strange because he thought that Wong was attacking Doctor Strange. But we see that then he realizes that Wong's been knocked out as well. And so he's like, oh man, what was that spell I used to take off the webbing off of someone's face? And so he does it, and it just so happens that it takes his shirt off too. He says, sorry about your shirt there. And Wong says, your spell was too strong for it. What is going on here? Oh no. Doctor Strange says, what happened? Thank the Ancient One he's still alive. Is that really Spider-Man? I believe so, yes. He came in through the window. What? He crashed into here? He just crashed in? Yes, but I don't know why. Do you think he remembers being here before? I don't know, Master Stephen, his breathing is shallow. He's probably going to be mad you did that. Well, considering he physically attacked me and yet I'm trying to save his life, I'm just saying he probably likes to keep the mask on. Poor child. Wong, tell me what happened. He said, what do you remember? He said, did you not do those defense spells before you did your meditation, those astral defense spells? And he's like, oh crap, I didn't do that. He says, you know that opens yourself up to demonic possession, and all these demonic spirits could come and attack you or attack anybody else. And that's what's happened here, is now that these forces, the evil forces, have now attacked Peter Parker. And so Doctor Strange now is put in a predicament here where he has to go save Peter Parker. And he remembers how he also had these nightmares as well, where his mother was trying to kill him in his sleep. And so we see that Wong says, whatever it was, sir, if I may be so bold, I do believe that it has let you go and latched on to him. He said, I better go get my dad's books. Hang in there, kid. And so inside this nightmare, we see every villain that Spider-Man has gone up against is after him. It's crazy stuff. He falls off this ledge of a building here, and then when he lands, he's like at this picnic. This is very reminiscent of that video that he watched a while back. And while they're having the picnic, he notices that Uncle Ben is dead. This very scary stuff here. And then everybody dies, but except for Eddie Brock. And Eddie Brock says, wah, wah, wah. I'm an orphan too. Don't see me crying. Cry it up, Pee-wee Peter. You know I'm coming back to kill you, right? And then while he's running away, he notices the limp body of Gwen. It's like she's been drowned. Then from behind, Harry Osborn says, Gwen, can't you hear you? Gwen can't hear you, Parker. She's dead. Harry? If you wanted to talk to her, all you had to do was ask. How? How what? How can I talk to her? He kicks him inside the river, and he notices there's an evil grin here, just crazy stuff. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange is trying his best to look up exactly what the spell he needs to do to wake up Peter Parker. He says, Wong, is it too much to ask mystic scholars to log their findings in alphabetical order? I mean, I don't even care what language. I'm not a linguistic snob. All I need is you. What language is this? Master said, nightmares and nocturnal attacks have been close. He said, go down further, go down further. Finally, Doctor Strange gets to the point where it says, dream dimension is a manifestation of the collective human psyche. The dreams of a man take on an independent existence in a dimension that is overseen by a malicious entity that feeds off the spiritual energies of the nightmares. This being known by many names throughout mythology is a sworn foe of the rational processes of the human mind. Ancient writings detail many examples of powerful men who have declared encounters with this nightmare entity. One being Gabriel III, who was a mighty warrior. When the gladiator finally woke, he described horrible nightmare battles that only he could have seen. The warrior never recovered and died a short time later. Well, he definitely doesn't want that to happen to Spider-Man here. And so he's like, Wong, prepare the candles and incense. I'll get the crystals of Agamotto. And he's like, do you feel your spells are strong enough for this, Master? And Doctor Strange says, doesn't matter. Kid's got to wake up. So in his dream, Peter Parker thinks he's awake. This woman that looks like Elektra approaches, but actually it's going to look like Mary Jane. And Mary Jane says, I'm going to have to kill you, Peter, because if I don't, you'll kill me. You do know you're going to kill me, Peter. Of course you will. Of course you will. I will die just because I know you. I'll die because I let you kiss me. It's just a matter of time. In fact, let's start a death pool. Who says I die before Aunt May? So they start betting on who's going to die first. This giant robot comes in trying to chokehold Peter, and he's going to throw him inside this, looks like a giant mouth of venom. And then finally, Doctor Strange shows up, and he's going to use his spells here to defeat this nightmarish person, the nightmarish being. And he says, you're in my realm. What are you doing here? You had no access. How did you get here? And he's then going to take the face of his father, Doctor Strange Sr. This angers Doctor Strange Jr., and he's going to use every spell in the book to save Peter here. And finally, he's able to defeat with Nightmare here. And he says, you shouldn't have used the image of my father like that. All you did there was make me angry. Finally, he's going to help Peter Parker wake up. He said, I don't know how long we're safe here, so wake up. Wake up? Ow. I said, well done, sir, that was quick. It was? Calm down, kid, it's okay now. Where am I? It wasn't real. It felt real, but it wasn't. This is real. This is real. They were trying to kill me. How do I know you? He said, look, I cast a memory spell on you, so you might be having a sense of deja vu on top of. Then Peter Parker leaps out the window here. He's like, oh man, he left his mask. He said, the only reason I got out of there was that this thing, whatever it was totally ill prepared for me. Next time, I got a lot of reading to do. So Peter Parker makes it back to his home. He's in his basement. He keeps reliving these horrible images of what he had in his nightmare, of how he saw a dead Uncle Ben and he saw Mary Jane trying to kill him. All of a sudden, he gets a knock on the basement door, and it is Mary Jane. Remember, they're supposed to go on this fancy date. She says, sweetie, it's me. I'm alone. But he keeps having these flashbacks to what he saw in his dream. And it ends the story here by saying, but tonight was our fancy date. And so next issue, folks, we're going to be seeing the first appearance of Hobgoblin. It's going to be pretty unique. And how in the world is Peter Parker going to have to explain to Mary Jane why he blew off this date? We're going to have to figure all this out as we continue to look at this series. We'll be looking at issue number 72 coming up next. But before then, go ahead now and give this video a like. Comment down below what you liked about this issue. Subscribe if you have not. And I will see y'all in the next one.